Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm here at Apex 2018 and I'm joined by Moreau from KIC. Miles, great to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. We seem to talk all the time here about connecting machines and connecting software, but a lot of what you do is about connecting people. You've been in the business 40 years, you're talking to a lot of customers, you've got a huge service and support network. Tell me how important that network is and what you gain from that in terms of developing your roadmap.
Well, KIC has always been in the field, so to speak. We started with what you now call a smart system, is monitoring furnaces. So we've always had to go to the customer site, help them install our system, initiate it, and service it. And we gain a certain value by being there with the customer, seeing how they're using our system, seeing how they're doing their manufacturing, and then we can aid them and better support them knowing that information. So if they do call in, we have that hindsight of, oh yeah, we were on site, we know how they operate on their floor, that we can start to build in our newer products.
Yeah, and you also have that picture of not just visiting their site, but of having visited hundreds and hundreds of other sites. And for me, there's a huge value in that kind of collective knowledge that we perhaps don't exploit. Is that something that you can glean through the sales and service team?
That helps us in our product roadmap, actually, is that information. We can start to see commonalities to the way people manufacture, or look at a unique situation, the way a particular customer does something using our equipment, and say, hey, you know, that could benefit and add a lot of value to our products. And then the next years, when those new products come out, we can say, let's make sure we do it this way because we've seen it in the field. We've seen it happen at different customer sites.
Yeah, and the benefit there is not just seeing stuff that they recognize, but seeing stuff that you can highlight yourself. For me, people now are looking at your domain expertise, they're looking at you providing data, but they want that to be actionable data. They don't just want to monitor, they want to be able to do stuff with it. You've been doing this for 40 years, not you personally, but KIC have been doing this for 40 years. What's changed in the way customers ask for product and the way customers want that product installed?
I think the biggest change, there used to be a lot more engineering expertise on the floor, a huge amount. And so you could kind of be a little bit of a collaboration. We helped them out, and then that engineer kind of wants a bunch of different ways they can play around with the tools we provide. Now it's much more streamlined, the margins are smaller, there's not as much time that you can kind of do that playing around or learning curve. And so I think we've taken it now to a level of, we've been through all that, and now we can make the software and the product more efficient to take care of some of that playing around or learning curve part. And now we have the data. That's the next level of questions is, okay, we know how to set up the procedures to use your system. It's nice and easy now. But now what do we do next? And we have that expertise and knowing of how manufacturing works and how the oven works to say, okay, you don't just need to look at this data, here's what you can do with it, and here's what it's telling you. And by being in the field so much at different sites, we're able to kind of glean that information and give that feedback to the customer.
Yeah, and in terms of the product itself, as you say, there's a change in the staff that are on the factory floor. There's less engineering capability down there. There's more operators that are perhaps moving from machine to machine. You have to change the way the software looks, the way it's used, and you have to make even installation has to be as near to a plug and play as it possibly can be.
Yeah, and that's the big challenge, especially on taking an oven down because it's hot, right? You can't work on it when it's hot. So we have to. We've looked at ways we can be more efficient. So if we have to come on site, they want to know how long is the line going to be down for, and then for training purposes and everything, we've learned from being on the site of what we can do offline, what we need down on the line, and it's that kind of person-to-person relationship that you develop with your customer by being face-to-face with them, that you're able to understand what their demands are. So when they say, you know, you have this many hours, we know why. It's just like, oh, how am I supposed to do this? Well, we understand why from their point of view.
Yeah, you understand why the line needs to not be down. It's great because I listened to the keynote presentation today from Jigsaw, which is part of Google, and it was all about machine learning and artificial intelligence. It's good to know that people are still talking to people and learning stuff that way and developing their skills. So.
Well, that's the key too, is because when you look at what's going to happen next, what do they need next, especially when the equipment's doing all this AI and machine learning, is the machine going to tell you what product you should develop in 2 years? No, you have to go to people, and you have to have people in the field kind of looking at what's happening and coming up with those new ideas. And so you have to have the people component part of interaction with the customer and the manufacturing and everything.
Yeah, I like the idea of this augmented age where we're using artificial intelligence to help us do stuff rather than allowing it to take over. I think that's pretty important. Miles, thanks for stopping by, thanks for chatting, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.